It is Friday, January 12th, and welcome to the IT Hour. All right. Wait, we're already almost halfway through the month. Where where did it where did it go? I don't know, but we're glad to be here. So welcome everyone. I like Kelly's comment in here. I saw it right as we went live. Howdy do, buckaroos. So howdy do to you, Kelly. Welcome, everyone. I see Keith and AJ and Charles, and we've just got everybody trickling in, and we are glad to have you with us. And we're excited today because we've got some faces maybe you haven't seen before. So it's all exciting. So, welcome, Tim. Tim is from product design, and Suba is from product management. So, we've got some great people here to tell us some new things. So we are glad to have you. How are y'all doing today? You can come off
Doing
mute, I
well.
promise.
Doing well. Excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. This is an awesome snowy morning for me, and it's amazing to see you all lovely people.
Yes. Suba was telling us that they had snow where she is, and we got into a big conversation about snow and shoveling versus um, not having to shovel and
Love
using a
hearing
snow
about
blower.
all
Yes.
your cold country problems while I'm in shorts and flip flops and a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Just always here
exactly.
to flex the weather.
Rub
Oh,
it in.
I used to do that when I lived in Southern California too. I'd be like, "Oh, it's 60 degrees near the beach."
4 more days. I'm counting down. I'll be in that time zone, Urvashi. So I will definitely be, yeah, enjoying
Yes,
that
come
weather
and
too.
enjoy it. It's the
Yeah.
only time the weather is good until it gets too hot or it's raining.
Welcome, Stephen. Stephen saying we had a winter hurricane here in North Carolina. Yes, we did. Earlier this week, our schools got out 3 hours early because there was some weather coming up our way, and we had really high winds, and so they didn't want the buses out in that. And then it got a lot of rain. It was it was pretty nasty. Um, we stayed indoors for that. So you didn't even get any of that, Urvashi. So you just have this nice weather you get to rub in our faces. So whatever. Oh wait, now I
That's
can
why
do
we
my
have the population that we do,
yeah.
because
See now
everybody
now
would
it's not
rather
going to
just
do
live
it.
here.
Earlier when I was just like tucking my hair back, it actually gave me a thumbs down, but now it won't do it. So or do I have to do both of them? I only did one and it did it. See, it's not going to do it now. I can't make it work. I can't make it work. I even have
Awesome.
the correct computer now and it won't work. So oh well, that's all right. Ooh,
I like the
Stephen.
random balloons that show up. I have no idea what action really makes that happen, but I guess I'm very animated with my hands, and then these balloons start showing up all over the place.
Maybe just wave your hands or something. All these weird things will,
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
know.
if you do this, it'll do something. See, it's not, oh, there we go.
There, you
There's the
got it.
confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know everybody likes to go. You have to have it a certain
Well, I
distance
turned
from
it
your,
off
Ooh.
because I do it normally and it just kept like popping up.
yeah. You have to do it a certain distance from your face. Otherwise, it's too close to and it won't figure out what you're doing. So, I don't generally wave around a lot. Like my hands are usually below the screen. So, um, it hasn't happened accidentally yet, except for earlier when I had a thumbs down next to my head. I'm going, what did I do? I don't even know what I did. Um, yep, I just threw the horns, Kelly, and I got the laser beams. Oh, two thumbs up is okay. Two thumbs up is fireworks. The horns is the laser beams, but I don't know. I don't know what. I haven't played around with them. There are instructions in. I haven't read the instruction manual. RTFM. I have not done that. So, all right. Balloons is the peace symbol. Yeah, see Ross is actually sharing the manual that I have not um
All right. Let's try. There you
there you
go.
go. You got it. See, we're really just nerds at heart. We like to play with toys. Uh, anyway, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Becky Scott. I'm head of community, and we have Urvashi, who you see every week with us as well, our technical champion. So, Charles wants to know if there's an Italian ancestry mode to disable it for people like me that talk with their hands. Actually, yes, there is. If you go up to the green camera, you can disable the motions. And I believe Urvashi did that because you were,
I
what,
talk with my
triggering him
hands.
too much?
Yeah, like in customer meetings, when I'm trying to like get a case study together and I'm like, and it's just all balloons and confetti and everything.
Yep. A little too frequently. So we try to avoid that when it's a serious meeting. Not that this isn't. It's a little bit serious, but not too much. So
Fun fact, I can't be serious.
I can't. I literally cannot, and my kids hate it because I will, when they say a phrase, it reminds me of a song, I will start singing it, and they're like, "Mom, stop!" Because I have a song for everything, pretty much everything. But it's only when I'm not really thinking about, like somebody will say, "Okay, here's this phrase, sing on command." I'm like, it doesn't work that way. It has to be like they're saying something, and then it reminds me of a song, and then I start
It's
singing.
situational comedy, you guys, not stand up. Like get with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids these days.
Kelly says my husband thinks it's hilarious to hold my hands down and ask me stuff because I can't finish a sentence if I can't use my hands.
Same, Kelly. Same.
Torture. And Rob says no meeting I'm in is a serious meeting. I make sure of that. You know, we have no doubt at all about that, Rob. We are 100% certain that you're that way. If you're new, Rob's a regular, and we know that he's never serious. So he will never be accused of that. All right, so we've got our regular agenda. If you are here all the time, you know that we go into our community update, and then if there are any product releases announcements, which there are, and then we will hand it over to Subha and Tim to talk about API access and new admin roles. So looking forward to hearing what y'all have to say about that. But really quickly, I will jump into the community update. There's really just a couple today. Jurgen has been going on the scripts again. This is actually inspired by last week. And he wrote a how to streamline your Windows deployment by using a provisioning package, PPKG, and imaging tools. And quote, "Don't touch me." So go check that out. And then Urvashi has kindly gotten us a transcript for the Amazon Verified Access Partnership that we did in December. And if you have not seen these starting to be posted, we are doing transcripts on some of the technical demos and stuff because we've had requests for when people are going back and trying to look for something. Like it's really hard to search through the videos on YouTube and find the particular piece you're looking for. So we're adding these transcripts so that you can search through that to find the part you're looking for and get the details out. But then you can also, refer to that part in the video as well. But it's just another way to help you find the information you're looking for more quickly. So, Urvashi, you want to?
When I go through those edits after the auto transcript, and we even have like a writer go through the whole thing, but there's always like some stray junk cloud that's scattered around somewhere that I have to look for. So now my go-to is to just say Control F junk cloud and then replace all.
Yeah, it always does that to me too. Some weird or somebody's name or something like that. I mean, it does a pretty good job, but you always have to go back and edit it anyway. But
so note to Subha and Tim today when you're presenting, if you have to say it, please enunciate jump cloud. Otherwise, the transcript will put in junk cloud. Thank you.
Thankfully, we know that's us too. So, it's all good.
Absolutely. Ross says, I used to have a plugin that changed cloud to moon. Y'all could have been jump moon. I don't know. It just doesn't have quite the same ring. On to product releases and announcements by special request from Tom Bridge. He just posted in the community about the Mac OS patch notification. beginning with the adoption of DDM, we can use a new Apple framework to signal updates to devices and enforce their adoption. It uses the user's local date and time to establish a deadline, like 5 p.m. next Friday, 10 p.m. on Tuesday, for a specific version of macOS to be installed. The OS will alert the user daily that they have an update available and offer it to the user for immediate or later install. With a few days to go, these alerts begin to ignore Do Not Disturb, and on the last day, they're very aggressive, like hourly. As we evaluate our future plans, we're very interested to hear from people who are using our custom notifications for patch management on macOS, as we are considering changing how we approach these updates. The native Apple experience, beginning with declarative management support in macOS 14, is substantially improved over the past alerts. If you're using our custom alerts and you love them, please let Tom know. He really wants to hear from you. There's a post in the community about that. But you can also reach Tom on Slack or tom.bridge@jumpcloud.com. So please let us know if you are doing that. And then the other thing is, Hari wrote a really great piece following up on the IT hour last week. Windows Light Touch deployment via provisioning package is now GA. But the reason you should check out this community post is he put a lot of great detail in it, some screenshots and everything, and laid out the benefits of this package. Simplified and efficient deployment method, scalable and highly secure, supports a variety of security settings at the runtime, improved IT experience, there's reduced human intervention, and improved ROI. Bulk deployments are no more a nightmare, as the provisioning can be completed in a few minutes. So go check that out in case you want some more detail. And those were the two major sections in the product piece. So with that, Subha and Tim, what you got for us today?
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna try and start sharing the short presentation. Promise I'm not gonna bore you. All right. You all able to see it now? Okay, cool. Awesome. So today, Tim and I are here to talk about our recent changes which will allow you to manage API access for the admins in your organization and the introduction of a new admin role. So we both are going to switch off and be talking about the various aspects. So bear with us. All right, our agenda today is going to be the disable enable API access as the first step, followed by the addition of the billing only admin role. And then we'll be talking about some upcoming changes to the API keys that you have today and how we will be introducing the concept of API tokens, and then we will take questions. You're free to ask questions in the chat. And Becky or Vashi, if you wouldn't mind monitoring and making sure that I don't miss them while I'm talking, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. All right, jumping into this. So Tim, you ready? And I'm going to drive the slides for you.
Perfect. Thanks, Subha. As mentioned before, I'm Tim Croxdale. I am a product designer here at Jump Cloud, and partnering with Subha and a ton of other people, this is what we came up with as a solution to provide more ability with our API keys. So if you jump into the next slide, I'll show you how a view of what we put into place to allow our admins upon creation of an admin or even editing. As you can see here, we are now allowing to either enable or disable access for an API. And so previously everybody had access here. And so this is kind of the first step in the direction that we want to take this. If you go to the next screen, I'll show you a view of if somebody set me up as an admin and I don't have the ability for an API. This is the view that I get. So they would still go in the same spot, and it would just give me a message letting me know that I actually don't have the permission to generate one. And you can see here similar patterns that we use throughout our platform. And I would need to reach out to my admin who set me up to grant me access. The next view, if we jump in one more, is when an admin does have the ability to create an API key. He or she would go the same way that you do today, generate a key, and this is your one-time view, and we make that clear in the messaging, and allow you a quick way to copy down that key. And this, again, is the only time that we're going to show you that key. So if you were to come back here, you could generate a new one, and then again, you get this screen. So that, again, this is kind of a nod in the direction that we want to take things with, being more secure and allowing you more control over your API keys. And now I'll turn it back over to you, Subha.
Thank you, Tim. So for those of you that are admins in Jump Cloud, you already have an API key that is provisioned to you by default. Going forward, this change, when you're creating new admins, will not automatically enable API access. So the access will be disabled, and you have to, I'm going back to a couple screens, you have to explicitly check that box under permissions and access so as to give them permissions to the API. So even with that, they don't get an API key until they go in and click on the My API key and generate one. These are the changes, just so you're aware. For those of you who are regular API key users, you may have noticed this having gone into effect in December, right before the holidays. And so if you have any other questions on here, throw them in chat, or we can talk about it at the end as well. All right, jumping into the next thing, billing only admin role. Now, how many of you have always wanted someone who is in your finance team to access and download invoices that Jump Cloud has on their own without giving them an admin with billing role, where they could be destructive at best and accidentally delete users or something like that? So this is in answer to that question that you've all asked. So now, in addition to all the amazing roles we already have, we have a new billing only role. They, as the name suggests, only have access in our platform to the areas that pertain to them, which is account details, which is being able to change credit card information, or go into the invoices page and download invoices. So you will see, if you have a multi-tenant portal admin who has a billing only role, they will have access to the account page. They can see the account overview. They can see the payment history. They can go into the billing information and change credit card, or they can also go into the usage. And this is important to know. If you are an MSP, you will be able to, as a billing only role, set user caps and license caps for all the tenant organizations. Right, so this is what the billing only role buys you. And notice there is no more navigation elements on the top, so they cannot access anything else. They cannot navigate into organizations, and so this is very restrictive role. And you could safely provide this access, and this access also goes into API. Their scope is also limited via API if they're trying to access or trying to figure out, hey, let me go find a user that I can suspend now. No, they can't do it. So we'll not allow them to do it. So, right, absolutely. We will not have finance people coming in here and accidentally clicking something they shouldn't have clicked, or providing themselves maybe a sudo access they shouldn't have, right? So, okay. And on the admin portal, so when you're logged in as a billing only admin role, we'll take you and show you the account overview page where you can see what your entitlements are, whether you're a free account, you're a trial account. Then you have the ability to go into our pricing pages and buy a new plan if you would like. And then, of course, change credit card information. So that's essentially it for the billing only role. But note, as a billing only role, you also have a few other privileges. We do allow you to have, if you have subscribed to our premium support, you can live chat with an agent if you have any questions directly, if you have billing questions you want to ask. So the chat down in the bottom, and now it's a little small, tiny font here to see, but you will be able to access that. You will also be able to access the case portal. If you submitted any support cases and you want to see, hey, what's going on, you will be able to see the case portal from the support. You can get to our knowledge base articles, and you will also be able to see if there were any new releases that probably pertain to you. So you can see the what's new. So these things are available to you. You can, of course, go in here, change your password, all of that good stuff. So all of that is still available, but other functionality is empty. You cannot access our navigation and go anywhere else. All right. Next, I wanted to introduce you to some upcoming changes, right? While we are on the topic of API keys, API tokens with time to live keeps coming up. A lot of you who use our APIs have asked us, hey, your API keys live forever. Can I have them expire on a regular basis so that I don't have to remember and put it on my calendar to go rotate them? So we hear you loud and clear, and we are going to be introducing this feature coming up. So we are moving away from our classic API keys to API tokens. Why are we doing this? API tokens will allow for time-based access to resources, right? And I think I saw somewhere on the chat as it passed by me, more granularity, more scoping. Yes, this is where we are headed with API tokens. We will begin with offering you the ability to create multiple API tokens. Today, you are probably creating alias admin accounts, right, to do various functions with the APIs. So, if you want to integrate to something, you're using one, I don't know, a Subha Sriram plus integrate SSO, and then you're going to do something for Radius and so on and so forth. You're creating different things, aliases, so that you can get access to separate keys and you can keep them organized. Now we are going to allow you to, as just a single user, create multiple tokens for different purposes and even name them, give them friendly names so you know what these tokens are being used for. We are going to allow you to set an expiration time, like a date. We'll give you some defaults and we will allow you to set a date so that they expire on their own and you don't have to put it in your calendar to go rotate them. And eventually these tokens will also get you into the fine-grained control that you are looking for over the resources that you want access to. Today, they are going to be based on the scopes that our roles offer, but over a period of time, we are moving into much more granular scoping. So moving into tokens allows us the ability to do that. So this is just like a eye chart to give you a difference between our classic keys and API tokens, right? Like classic keys today, as you all have them, it's one hashed personal key per admin. In future, you can create multiple tokens once the API tokens go live. And the classic keys will always only have scopes of the user that is created, right? So if you are a manager, well, you only have scopes for the manager. Whereas in the API tokens world, if I'm a manager, I might also be able to create a help desk token, or I might be able to create a read-only token, right? Scopes that are below me, scopes that I have and I have the power over. So as an admin with billing, I can create scopes, all the scopes of API tokens. Classic keys never expire. And obviously, this is one of the biggest advantages of the API tokens. They will have a time to live, which you will be able to set up. And we are going to be able to collect metadata around that. We are allowing friendly API key names. This allows you to have better access to the DI events based on these key usages. Right now, it's hard. We do allow you to see how the API keys are used, but It's a little hidden in our JSON, as you all know, through the auth method to see, this key was used. And now you don't know which key was used either. You know there was an API access made. With the new API token, you will know which key was used to make what access. So not because you will see the key, but you will see the name, the friendly name. And so the auditability and the visibility of that increases. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tim to walk through the designs and how this is going to all play out.
These are just a couple early wires too, just throwing that out there, right? That by the time we actually get this in the platform, might look a little different. But as Subha said, we are bringing you more functionality to the way that we provide you the ability to manage your tokens. And so what you're looking at on the screen, even though it's small in that top left, is the way that you will be able to go in and actually create a token. And so, we ask you to name it. So give it a useful name there. You set your time to live, and then you get the ability to set your role. And then once you do that, that middle screenshot is a view of, when you have multiple tokens that you can get a quick look at what the name is, when it expires, and what the role is associated with it. The bottom view there on the bottom right is actually a screenshot of our existing admin portal. The piece to hone in here on is that there's an existing certificate and token status board that we would then pull in this information into. So you don't even need to jump into that middle screen anymore. You would be able to have that high level view of what's going on with your tokens and see when they expire. So just bringing you more control over what you have created and what you have coming up. So that is the essence of these screenshots.
And then we get over to questions. Does anybody have any questions? I saw a couple come through chat, and I think Kelly had a question, and I don't know if I missed a few. These were the more recent.
I can read them off to you. We have a thing where we toss them over to. Ross was asking, so what role is able to modify allowing admins to create APIs? I assume administrator with billing.
What role is able to modify allowing admins to create APIs? And that is administrator with billing. Yes.
Okay, good. And then, yes, Kelly had said, does the billing only admin receive notifications of any kind? That might be useful for us as an MSP to manage billing related emails.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like Kelly, let's talk about what kind of notifications you're looking for, right? At the moment, like we do have admin with billing receiving these, and we will be making changes to have the billing only admin also receive some of the emails, especially related to usage on the MSP when you're getting closer to usage limits and such, or you've exceeded. I think those kind of emails, absolutely. Are there other notifications you're looking at? Feel free to reach out, and we can have a conversation around this as well.
Okay, and this is more of a general API question. If anyone has any general tips, tricks for using APIs, I'm all ears. Kelly recently started using them at work.
I would actually open that to the community, right? Like to be truthful, I think all of y'all use the APIs way more than we use the APIs on a daily basis. So I'm sure you have a lot of tips and tricks on how you would use them. So yeah. Please share it with Kelly if you have any.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Joe asked, what is the ETA for this change?
For the API token. So this is actually ongoing work, Joe. So we are looking at it as the first half of the year. So you will start hearing news about it soon. So engineering is working on it as we speak. So you will start seeing changes crop up and communications coming around this soon.
Okay. And then he had a follow-up. Will expirations show on dashboard like MDM?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. Yes, we do. We will be showing on the certificate and token status board monitor. We will also have API tokens expiring showing up in there, taking you to the API token page where you can expire and create a new one. You can delete that token and create a new one.
Okay. And Kelly's kind of follows up with that too. Because in addition to, showing on the dashboard, is there any sort of notification around them expiring?
Yes, there will be a notification around them expiring, just as you would have certificate notifications as well via email. So we will let you know. So the admin that created that token is the one who will be notified about the expiration coming up on that as well. So yeah, it will be available in both places.
Perfect. And I think that was all. Urvashi, did I miss any?
This one's not really a question, but Ross was saying that we need WebAuthn support for login to the admin portal, and Subha responded in the chat saying it's on the horizon.
Yes, it's definitely in the year's roadmap, so you would hear from it in one of the ID hours from one of my product peers.
Great. Glad to hear that. In fact, I know Urvashi had been encouraging a feature request, and Ross said, I filed that one already. So
I love it.
On top of it.
I love it when customers say, I've already filed it. I'm like, see, that's the way we track it. So I'm so happy to hear you were on top of it, Ross.
Absolutely. And Charles is saying, Kelly hit me up, well-versed in the APIs, which reminds me that Charles actually, I believe, wrote Charles, didn't you write some API blog posts on the Radical Admin blog? I can dig those up and send those to Kelly. I think some of those series of posts were on APIs, but I haven't had a lot of coffee yet. So he did write some posts, but whether they were all on APIs, I don't remember. But we can definitely find you some resources on that. Thanks for volunteering, Charles. Appreciate that. I think that was all the questions. So I believe, what's next, Urvashi?
The news.
The news. Do.
Time for the emotional roller coaster that is this news update. So first off, actively exploited 0 days in Ivanti VPN are letting hackers backdoor networks. That's fun. If anyone's using Ivanti VPN, please check your stuff. Unknown threat actors are actively targeting 2 critical 0-day vulnerabilities that allow them to bypass two-factor authentication and execute malicious code inside networks that use a widely used virtual private network appliance sold by Ivanti. So that's fun. Link will be in the show notes if you want to read more about it. Another stressful one is Linux devices are under attack by a never-before-seen worm. So for the past year, previously unknown self-replicating malware has been compromising Linux devices around the world and installing crypto mining malware that takes unusual steps to conceal its inner workings. The worm is a customized version of Mirai, the botnet malware that infects Linux-based servers, routers, webcams, and other so-called Internet of Things devices. So update everything, you guys.
Fun.
And in the world of MDM, I really enjoyed this one. Why Apple must support MDM with Vision Pro. So, quoting Computer World, the thing is, when it comes to real world use, we already see a multitude of signs that these devices will see the most urgent early business cases emerge in businesses and enterprise markets. Apple knows this and alluded to these class of apps in its Vision OS announcement last year. So like collaboration and design, warehousing, exploration, all of these industries already make use of device management to protect the other devices in their fleets. So they'll want the same for Vision Pro. So I think we should let everybody know that we have to start hiring for a new department, Becky, the Vision OS product team.
Oof.
So that's going to have to happen.
I saw an interesting comparison somebody sent me about comparing the Sony VR to the Vision Pro, and I'll have to go look it up and we can drop that in the show notes too. Go back and see who sent it to me because it was comparing them. And I believe they were kind of saying that the Sony kind of beat it out just because of some of the features Sony already had built in. It was a little more accessible. I think the pricing difference was there but also technically. So it was really interesting to see that there were already these comparisons and, Apple's still isn't technically out. So it'll hmm. I
My
don't know who's gonna
Android,
use them and for what yet. I mean, they sound fun. I mean, but it's like a cool toy, right? Like, "Oh, I love new technology and stuff," and, but I can't im they showed all these different things, and they showed, like, people sitting at home watching a movie and, "Ooh, you could watch this giant movie sitting at home," but are we really gonna do that?
that's what people said about cars, Becky, back in the day. So, you know, and then that's what they said about tablets and
Well, yeah, I
cell
just can't
phones.
imagine it yet,
No, I'm
although
kidding. I'm just pulling your leg.
this week is the 17-year anniversary of the launch of the iPhone, and, Steve Jobs came out and said, "We're gonna have a new widescreen iPod, and we're gonna have, an internet access device, and we're gonna have" there was one other thing, and he was talking about these 3 different devices, and he goes, "But wait, it's actually not 3 devices. It's the new iPhone, and we're gonna revolutionize, what the mobile phone looks like." And 17 years later, he was not wrong. I mean, it really changed a lot of stuff. Um,
I mean,
Phone,
I was
iPod, internet. Yes, thank you, Charles. Phone, iPod, internet communicator. But
internet
we're not talking about
communicator.
3 different devices. This is all one device, and then they revealed the iPhone. So
Ross was mentioning that you can now hack a smart wrench. So apparently he's posted a link also, so you can start hacking those. So that's fun for everybody. This next headline is, I don't know how to feel about it. Work from home is passé. Microsoft wants you to work from your car. Over the past few years, employees have seen work from office, work from home, and even work from hotel rooms. Cough, Becky, you've been there. But come February, Microsoft Teams users will be able to attend work calls and meetings from the comfort of their cars. Microsoft Teams will be available on Android Auto, an app that connects Android mobile phones to the car's infotainment system, the company announced in an update on the Microsoft 365 roadmap. The availability of Microsoft Teams on Android Auto will allow users to join meetings quickly and easily directly from the vehicle's dashboard instead of manually using the phone. The users will also be able to view their calendars for events.
tell you what,
Sounds like a death trap.
yes, I have joined things from my car when I'm sitting in carpool or, in a parking lot waiting for something, but I don't do it because I want to. It's not fun. It's not comfortable, comfort of your car. No, it's not comfortable.
I mean,
It
at what point is, accommodating all kinds of connectivity going to get us in trouble?
Well, here's the funny thing. When I walk past people's cars who are using their phone connected to the car, I can hear them talking. You hear this loud and I'm like, "Wait, does mine do that too? I need to test this someday," because it's like instead of it being secure within your car, they have it turned up so loud that I can hear the person speaking on the phone that is, using the audio of the car, and it's really loud, and the first few times I heard that, I was like, "Do they have their windows down or something?" But no, it's like it goes into the frame of the car, and it actually amplifies it when you're on the outside, and I'm like, "Oh, that's not good. That's actually not very secure at all."
So
So
now we
some
don't need malware. We can just drive next to somebody
Mhm.
that is in like
Yeah.
a senior leadership position and just
I mean,
eavesdrop.
it's not so bad when you're driving and you're just talking because, of course, the movement and everything. But when someone's sitting in a parking lot and they've got their phone really cranked up loudly, I can walk by and I could stand there. Now, sometimes it's kind of garbled because it's like so loud that it's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." You're like a Charlie Brown Peanuts thing. Wah, 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 wah. But a lot of the times I can hear the person talking and everything, and it's like, whoa, that that is bizarre. So I don't know if I would really want that aspect of it either. I really need to do a test with my own van and see if it's that bad. Maybe it's only certain models of cars or something, but
Next week's IT hour will be brought to you from Becky's car.
I need to
Can
have
you
someone
imagine setting up?
call me and talk to me and have them keep talking, and I'll get out of my car and stand outside of it and see if someone else can hear it, because that'll change how much I do of that stuff. But I can always take it off the car speaker, the Bluetooth, and just do it with headphones, and then no one else can hear
Not
it.
so bad. But can you imagine setting up all those conditional access policies and being like, if connecting from car / any location, that's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Although
And now,
one of the comments in here was saying that Ross, first they'd have to make Teams more usable and pleasant to use.
seems
It's
like their
tough.
priorities are elsewhere.
Oh, and using
They
it on
want,
a Mac is the worst. It's like they don't want you to use it on a Mac, because every time I do, someone will have a video call on Teams, it ties up resources, and even when I quit it, it like hangs on for a while and like doesn't want me to do anything else.
now you can do that to your car. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
This
Can't
last
wait.
headline, I was just talking about this to one of my friends the other day, and I was like, some major industry is going to collapse because someone used the password admin with the username admin for some critical infrastructure. And then I see this headline. A ridiculously weak password causes disaster for Spain's #2 mobile carrier. So Orange España, Spain's second biggest mobile operator, suffered a major outage on Wednesday after an unknown party obtained a ridiculously weak password and used it to access an account for managing the global routing table that controls which networks deliver the company's internet traffic. The party logged on to Orange's RIPE NCC, which is the RIPE Right Network Coordination Center account, using the password RIPE admin. So we all know somebody who has their password set to admin or p@ssw0rd. Please find them, text them, email them, call them, set up a coffee date, and force them to change their password. Oh, but doctor, I am the MT65 admin. Yep, pretty much. That's all the news I have for today. So we have everything from crypto mining malware to RIPE admin.
It reminds me of the scene from Ted Lasso. She goes, "Babe, did you have your password set as password?" "Yeah, but I spelled it with 2 S's."
Oh my God.
Oh dear. Well, with that, I mean, the chat is getting some good ones in there as always. So Rob's password, Rob says, "I always make my password the same as my luggage." And so Kelly's response is, "So Rob's password is my luggage." Got it. All right.
Everybody check that immediately.
Absolutely. That's
This is almost
DDoS
as
attack in progress for Rob in 543.
changing all my passwords to ridiculously weak. Well, at least add an exclamation point and like a digit in there, Charles. Make it really secure. Come on. Come on.
Oh, I love. Do you want to read Rob's comment? Because that's pretty
No
funny.
wonder I was watching had a hacker trying to get a password and it comes back as all stars and he kept freaking out, and then the other person in the room just walks over and types 8 asterisk. I don't know how to say this word, and it works. Asterisk Okay, I think
Keep
that was
saying it
correct.
10
Tim is
times and
nodding.
then it'll keep getting easier the longer you say it.
It'll sound like I'm having a seizure, and then someone's gonna have to
Yeah.
call 911.
Kelly, that's exactly what I was going to say. Stars. Just say stars. It's
Yes.
easier. Press Shift 8.
He sells asterisk seashore.
Yeah.
Shift 8 is it reminds me of a funny story, Becky. So one of my first jobs was a lab assistant, and I was teaching bank employees how to use a computer. There was a certain bank employee who was like, okay, so there's something where they had to do an asterisk, right? So I go Shift 8. They press Shift, press 8. It doesn't come up. Press Shift, press 8. And they kept like hammering on the keyboard. I'm like, you got to do it at the same time. But I am doing it at the same time. I'm like, no, you're not. You got to use two different hands. Do it. Try to do this. No, they could not get it. Oh my God. Like 10 minutes later, I was like, all right, did you get it? I'll do it for you. So,
Oh my God.
fun
There's
experience with Shift 8.
a bit in Modern Family where they're trying to teach the granddad to double click and he just can't do it. He's like, I am double clicking. Double click. Why won't it work?
Oh, man.
Oh
Reminds me of a
my
Monty
God.
Python where the guy comes in and says, my BlackBerry won't work. He's literally taking in some blackberries.
A BlackBerry.
My BlackBerry won't work. Sir, this is not a BlackBerry. Yes, it is. But it was the fruit, not the phone.
There's so much good stuff in the comments. For some of my less computer savvy users, the whole when you type sudo in terminal, the lock symbol that doesn't show characters being accepted is confusing for them. Yeah, it can be. Learning to type on a phone with one thumb at a time has ruined the shift key. Facts. I do have a pretty good phone typing speed though. That is my flex. So if anyone wants to do a type off on the phone, hit me up.
No,
The prize is one malware.
I can type pretty quickly, but then I will go ahead and hit send without rereading it, and I swear autocorrect has changed something that I didn't intend it to say. Like
Those are always fun.
it changed. I specifically typed odd and it changed it to off, and that totally changes the meaning of your sentence and just stuff all the time. And I go back and look, I'm like, I didn't say that. What? And it looked fine as I was typing it, and then somehow it changes it like 2 words later, and I'm like, oh, Brett got me again. There's a reason why that damn you autocorrect site exists. It's because that happens. Oh, we're going crazy over here again. So Kelly said, "Did you put it on orange?" So Kelly remembers that bit I was talking about.
Oh my God, yeah, the physical keyboard button, the physical button keyboard for the iPhone. So time is a flat circle. So we'll probably be back to rotary phones soon also.
There was a funny video of somebody that gave their teenagers a rotary phone and told them to dial a phone number, but didn't tell them how to do it. Just like, let's see if you can figure it out. And it really was hilarious while they were just like tapping at it and then like moving it a little bit, but they didn't know you had to move it all the way over and stuff. And I guess it's really only funny if you're old enough to have actually used a rotary phone when you were a kid or a young adult.
I was just thinking about how it must have prevented so many drunk dials, like back in the day, because you can't do it. Now it's too easy. You think people
sadly.
Well, you can. If you didn't go all the way with your number, you're getting a wrong dial.
Oh.
Yeah. That used to be my favorite pastime as a kid. I would just dial random numbers and then start speaking to people, and people would be like, "What?" So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we used to go on school trips, like you would be in Beta Club, which is like the honor society one, but in our area, our one was called Beta Club. And we would have a yearly convention, like either statewide. And we would go stay in this hotel that had 2 towers. And it was pretty much the hotel was full of teenagers. And since the towers faced each other, people would put their room number in toilet paper in the window, and then we would call across the towers to random people. And it was just, have these conversations with people we didn't even know. We would just call each other and talk. And then finally, I think my last year, they security would call those people and tell them to take down their number. And our teachers would see there it is. I'm doing thumbs up. And then our teachers would, our chaperones would stop that too, because they felt it was, like a security thing and a bad idea. But we had the most fun doing that. Stupid teenager stuff.
Oh, I miss the days of prank calls. Now it's just spam calls. My 2 most received phone calls on my phone are suspected spam and potential fraud. So they think of me often. Subha, you beat me to it. I was looking for that link. So much for my showing off about my typing skills. My link finding skills need to be honed. You're on, Subha. You're on.
I had the app
But watch out.
right in front of me, so it was easy, Urvashi. Shortcut.
Yeah. She had you beat because she already had it open. So it's all right.
I will seek revenge for this.
Yeah, but grab that link and you can put it in the show notes so people have it too.
Yep.
All right. With that, we'll end a few minutes early. But Luke, if you watch the replay, there's a lot of good questions and stuff, and things on the both the roles and the API stuff and everything, the API keys. So make sure you take a look at that. And then if you still have questions, let us know, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you, Subha. Thank you, Tim. It was great having you on here. Can't wait to see some of the additional things coming later, and whether you come back or, like you said, have one of your colleagues come. I think it'll be great. So, link to the API docs as well. Charles is saying, okay, you're going to do that, Urvashi. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. And I guess for those of you who have Monday off, have a good holiday there, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we will see you next Friday. All right. Have a good one.
Thanks.